What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new YouTube video, and in today's video we had our primary deadlift day, and I can already tell you that it went smoother than I expected. I was a bit shaky, or I was a bit afraid before the day that the weights would not move at the assigned RPE, at the assigned rate of perceived effort or rate of perceived exertion, but they did indeed. And before we get to the deadlifts themselves, I had ramp ups, so ascending sets on competition pause squats first. I did my first set, I believe, with 200 kg, and then jumped up to the second set with 205 kg for, as I said, easy sets of fours. And something that was also new in the squats were my knee sleeves. I was able to get my hands on a pair of 2 extra large A7's Rigor Mortis knee sleeves. For reference, I am using, or I used to use, the L SPD sleeves, the old ones, and maybe or during heavier lifts and or during competition I would use the M sleeves, the M size sleeves, and now I'm actually had trouble getting into these 2XL sleeves by A7. But I tell you something, I am also an equipped powerlifter, meaning I also know how it feels like to get your knees wrapped. And this might have not been the exact same feeling in the top position when you're standing with them. They're very compressing, so you feel them. But when you're down in the hole and you get all the pressure and the fold in the back of the knee from the knee sleeves, it almost feels like as if you had reps on. It's insane. Very, very interesting to test them out, and I was bouncing like crazy out of the hole. I had 2 back off sets of 7 reps with 190 as well, and I was flying out of the hole. It was insane. Or sorry, it was 180, I believe. Then we will move on to deadlift. As you can see here, this was my last warm-up with 230, and then I started going into, I got real hyped and focused. I haven't been doing a session this intense for a long while, or in a long time. I haven't been this intense in a long time. I really had to focus, and I would say I almost did a good job. Not so much in the sense that I feel like I was too, when you're a little bit too hyped, you're a little bit too focused on giving it your all, that you might be rushing stuff. Felt like my deadlifts were a bit rushed, but obviously very happy with getting a set of 5 with 250 at this easy stage. It was very, very easy, and I'm confident to go up to 255 and maybe 260 next week for the last week of this block. That would be insane.
Think you're so smart? Well, I'll show you. Yeah, I will! I'll show all of you. I swear, just watch and you'll see, damn you! 996, 997, 998, 999!
And same as on bench, we're doing on prioritizing the rep work, so a heavy 5 will be followed by a top single of 275 kilos today. That would be breaking the 600 pound barrier, and that was actually my very first lift over 600 pounds for the first 3 weeks now of this prep, and I wanted to go for an easy single. I focused a bit more. The start of the lift was a bit slower, but it was damn easy to lock the weight out, and I'm super confident, and it gives me a lot of confidence for the upcoming heavy lifts, because the lockout has traditionally been one of my weaknesses, but ever since the last prep, and especially now the off season and this prep now, it shows that the lockout will no longer be any issue. Jumping to the back offs, we first had a very, very light back off of 5s with 215 kg, I believe it was, or 225. We then jumped back even more to just flat 200 kg for 2 sets of 5 paused though. So I was trying to keep up the focus. It was a very long session, I have to say. So at this point, I was already probably in the gym for almost 2 hours, if not more. And I was trying to recollect myself and try staying in this focus zone, because it's incredibly important to keep up your focus, and it gets progressively harder the more you are in the gym. They still moved well, in my opinion. I was able to pause them as I wanted, right above the ground, or fairly above the ground. I didn't want to get or pause them too high up, so that was all good. Moving on, I actually had 2 accessories in that day. I had the following one, and that is the 45 degrees hyperextensions. I also did some ham curls in the end. So basically just posterior chain accessories for that day. I decided against an accessory such as, for example, dumbbell RDLs or something like that, because I believe that I have enough hinging movements in these 4 or 5 deadlift sets as they were. So I tried focusing more on building up the posterior chain or strengthening the posterior chain. And these were, I believe, in total plates of the value of maybe 80 kilos. I believe it was 80 kilos. I have to calculate that. But it's a very, very much a killer exercise, especially if you're sitting as much as me, as I mentioned in the last video. And especially if you have lockout problems in your deadlifts. You want to strengthen your back extensors. You want to have 2 solid muscle strings running through your lower back to help you extend and push through the hips. Also working obviously the glutes in this exercise. What is going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video post-training once again about the knee sleeves, the new A7s. I just wanted to point out a couple cool things that I thought, wow, that is pretty nice. I also have here my old SPDs for comparison reason. And I wanted to explain a couple of things that would be important in powerlifting and that, yeah, would help you choosing your sleeves. So, yeah, let's start off with the cool things in the A7. So the A7s, they arrive in this kind of plastic bag, nothing too fancy. But then you have this, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but literally a handwritten note that says, Hamdi, thanks for your support in Germany. Hope you squat a huge PR in the new sleeves. Hunch. I don't know, or Hannah maybe. I don't know who that is, but insanely cool. And then you also get like these A7 stickers, I believe. And then look at that. Look at this. Demand greatness. And then you also have this like mesh bag, and this is like a super soft, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the super soft kind of tissue. I don't know what you would describe it as, but it's something that looks super fancy. I was very excited when I saw that. And it looks that is all the cool stuff that is aside of lifting. But let's look at the sleeves themselves. This is one sleeve, this is the other. As you can see, they really do have this kind of hourglass shape, in a sense that this would be like where your knee fold would be. You would go down like this, and this would be how you would look like in the bottom position. And that is what I mentioned in my video earlier. When squatting in this top position, when you're standing, the compression of the sleeve, especially around the knee, and for me, because of my rather larger quads, around the quads is definitely very much there and present. But when going down, if you actually go down and this fold here hits your knee cave, or like the back of your knee, this is so much force that it almost reminds me of a little cut, because I actually had to get them, but it almost reminds me of using actual reps, like actually repping your knee. And that was, I found that to be like pretty insane, given the fact that not so long ago this was every powerlifter's choice for sleeves when it came to competing raw. These are the old SPDs. These are even my M sleeves that I would wear in competition, and these were literally the choice for most people competing in raw powerlifting. And you can actually see, or maybe I can hold it like this, that you were able to stretch them. Hence, I would be able to squeeze in a pair of M sleeves on my leg. Now, I literally have to wear 2XLs. I mean, you can see the difference in circumference here. This is the difference in circumference. That's insane. And also, there's no give. I'm literally pulling as hard as I can, and there's nothing moving there. So for me, I find it quite insane that these exist. And I at first didn't think, because I mean, obviously these hourglass sleeves, like the Insys one, and now Titan also brought theirs out, the A7 Rigor Mortis, I think they came out earlier this year if I'm not mistaken. So they have been existing for quite a lot of time, but I didn't think they would make such a difference. And I'm very excited to wear them for my next squat session, which will be the heaviest session in regards to hitting a set of 5. Very excited to see how they will perform there, and I'm really excited to just squat and have fun in these, because honestly it feels like almost having a trampoline on your knees. Thanks again guys for listening. I just wanted to make a short, unusual head video. Usually I'm not recording myself talking to the camera, but I felt like telling you this. So from the bottom of my heart, all the love, all the power. Have a good one.